Another day and another fun week of news and things like that. Um, just want to start by hoping that you all had a great Easter with your families and celebrating the resurrection of our Savior and the good things that go along with that, and the springing of a new life and things like that. So hopefully all is well. For those of you that don't observe that, um, I hope you had a good time finding Easter eggs and doing adult Eastering as well. And if you're of the Jewish persuasion, I hope you had a great Passover and celebrated the uh, the passing of the the enemies of your of your backgrounds and things like whatever that may entail, the leavened bread and that things. So hopefully you all had a great weekend, and I know that I did with my family and just regular Easter type foods and that kind of thing. So a lot to get to. I want to start by saying, unfortunately, the Democrats are still at it. The biggest news about the Democrats is the fact that they insist on not listening to the American public. They're going after things that the American, in majority, and I don't care if you're right or left, or if you're Republican or Democrat, or if you're an independent, or whatever the case may be, everybody can agree that we don't want illegal aliens that are criminals in this country. And apparently, the Democrats are not getting that message, because senators by the score and Congress people have been going down to El Salvador to talk to this guy, um, Abrigo Garcia or whatever, who is, and I've got the proof right here, and that's the reason I was going to use a different background, but I've got things from Homeland Security, I've got stuff from the Department of Justice and Prince George's County in Maryland, and everybody points to the fact that this guy is a known gangbanger. He's a MS-13 mid-level or a higher level. One of them says a mid-level, the other one says a higher level. These are all been documented. They've all been proven. There was an FBI informant that identified him. The markings are there to substantiate that. And I've got some things I'm going to read about it. That this is from St. George's, and it says that the officers interviewed Abrego Garcia. During the interview, the officers observed that he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie. Now, that doesn't sound all that bad, with rolls of money covering his eyes and ears and mouth of presidents in separate denominations. The officer also knows such clothing to be indicative of Hispanic gang culture. Now, you would think a Bulls cap is insignificant in a hoodie. So what? He's got a hoodie with dollar bills all over it. So yeah, that would be insignificant. But it says the meaning of the clothing is to represent Veroi e Caliar, or it's supposed to translate to see no evil, hear no evil, and say no evil. Wearing the Chicago Bulls hat represents that they are a member in good standing of the MS-13 gang. Officers contacted a past proven and reliable source of informant who advised that Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia is an active member of the MS-13 with with the Western Clique. Confidential source further advised that he was a rank of Chiquico with the moniker of Che. So that's one source. Okay. Later on, he was pulled over and he was detained with 5 other people. This is from the Department of Homeland Security. And in this particular one, when they interviewed him, it says the subject freely admitted that he was a citizen and national of El Salvador by birth, and that he was present in the United States illegally. His words, not mine, his words. So that's number 2. And then finally, we've got also from the Homeland Security saying, and let me see where I put that. Oh, this is from the Department of Justice. And in here, he says that he doesn't want to be sent back to El Salvador because he is afraid that rival gangs would go after him. Well, if you're not a person in a gang, then why is a rival gang going after you? Maybe because you're a ranking person within a gang that they don't like, or you're invading on their territory, or whatever the case may be. Now, I don't know a whole lot about gangs, but I do know that there are fathers. I know that there are mothers in gangs. Okay. I know that they have children in gangs. This is, so the fact that they're saying, oh, well, he's a father of a Maryland child or whatever, that doesn't mean shit. Okay. The evidence points to the fact that this guy is guilty as hell. Now, what I don't understand is why the fucking senators are going down there and catering to this guy. All right. They showed a picture of this man, and if I could, I'd bring it up because I can't get it up on my phone, and you guys won't be able to see it if I do put it up on my phone because of the simple fact that the background that I use isn't going to allow me to do it. But there's a picture of him being humped over, bald head, shaved bald head, in a white outfit, and handcuffed, shackled, and all the whole 9 yards, being moved into it. Now, fast forward a week and a half, and Senator Van Allen goes down there, and he's having water with the guy. He's having a cup of coffee. He came home and said maybe he had a salted rim drink. That is not somebody that was traumatized in a jail. Okay. And I doubt very much, considering that the president of El Salvador said in the White House, in the Oval Office, he will not allow visitors to this man because he is a dangerous person. And he's known to the Venezuelan police, and he's known to the Venezuelan government as being such. So they weren't going to allow somebody to come in there and talk to the guy. So now all of a sudden he's in a cafeteria? I don't think so. Because other than here in the United States, they don't treat criminals like we do. When we incarcerate somebody, we educate them. They get free health care. They get 3 meals a day. They get a place to sleep. They got exercise time. They get an education. They have a job. They get paid. I mean, it's a cush job. Anywhere else you go, just ask Brittany Grimes how Russia was. You go outside the limits of the United States, jail is not like it is here. They don't fuck around down there, especially if you're a gang member. They don't like that. So don't give me this bullshit. And it's more of the fucking Democrats. Ignore what you see. And the freaking media is complicit in this because they perpetuate it. Oh, he's a poor man. You know what? First of all, he came here. He broke the law by crossing the line between Mexico and Texas. And he's not a citizen of this country. That's breaking the law. That makes it illegal. And he is a criminal at that point. So stop with the bullshit. I don't feel sorry for him. What, we don't have enough fucking criminals in this country that we have to import more? Where has our fucking politicians lost their fucking minds? Where? When did that happen? When did it get to that point? Just because Donald Trump is in office? Look, I'm not a fan. All right. And I was accused the other day of becoming a MAGA. Well, I kind of bristled at that. But then I thought for a minute, yeah, I do want America great. But do I want Donald Trump to do that? I don't know that he can. He's trying, but he's getting backlash for everywhere he goes. I mean, this man could walk on water, turn water into wine, come up with a cancer pill that would eliminate cancer, fix Alzheimer's, and he would still be the baddest person in the world. He would be no good. But nobody. I agree. He's not a great communicator. Do I think some of the things that he's doing are off the rails? Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some hiccups along the way. But I think what he's trying to do is to make the country better. Now, that remains to be seen. I mean, we're only 100 days into his presidency. And I know it seems like chaos. And I did earlier, whether it was last week or the week before that, I did a thing about having faith and listening. You think you're in danger, and to walk the greener pastures. And even though you're going through the valley of death, the other side will be greener pastures besides calm waters. And I truly believe that, whether it's Donald Trump or the person that succeeds him. Okay, I'm willing to give the president a chance, and everybody in this country should, if you're an American. But people are hating Donald Trump more than they love this country, and that's a shame. And I don't understand it. I don't know when we got there. My hypothesis on that is that it all started when Obama got elected because the country wasn't really ready to accept a black president. Well, we did, and we all lived through it. And do I agree with some of the things that Obama did? No. Do I agree with some of the things he did do? Yes, because everybody's got an agenda, and some of it works and some of it doesn't. I mean, the whole healthcare thing is a disaster. It's supposed to be the Affordable Care Act. There's nothing affordable about it. When it first came out, we were told, because my wife and I have a small business that we run, and we were told that we had to have some sort of healthcare, and we had to prove it. Otherwise, we were going to get a tax of 20%. Well, that 20% would have gone to paying for people that didn't do what they were supposed to do, because it was supposed to be 100% of people that were going to be covered by medical insurance, and that isn't the way it is. You're going to tell me that the crackhead that's selling her body on the streets of Newark or New York City or whatever, and prostituting herself, is going to go out and get health care? That's on your and my dime. All right. The guy that's living under a bridge because he's a homeless guy, and he's whether he's got mental issues or whatever the case may be, I'm sure as hell he's not getting healthy care. So that's on our dime. So don't tell me. And that's the other part. Getting back to the MAGA thing, I said, you know what? I am a MAGA. And here's what my MAGA stands for. I'm a man against government authoritarianism. Okay. I don't want the government telling me what I should do, how I should do it, and when I should do it. Okay. They've got enough information on me. They don't need any more. And if they think I'm a raving lunatic, we'll let them think that. Maybe I am a raving lunatic. But you know what? I started this because of a dare, and I'm getting into it, and I'm kind of enjoying doing it. And hopefully it's doing what I wanted it to do, which, if you go to my website, the mission on this is to incite conversation about non-like thinking people. Okay. Yes. Same thinking people are easy to work with. But if you're trying to speak with somebody that doesn't agree with you or your ideologies or your beliefs, that's a whole different conversation. But if we don't talk, we're never going to bring this country together, and we're never going to get to the bottom of what we need to do, which is make this country great again. I don't give a shit who the fucking president is. The only way we are going to do it, we as the citizens of the United States are going to do it, is we get rid of the fucking riffraff. We get rid of the naysayers, and the people we hire should be the people that are accountable to us. And the government and the people that are in government, and especially the Schumers and the McConnells and the Pelosi's and all those people, they've been there way too fucking long. And it's about time that we as Americans put our foot down, fire every one of those fuckers, and start over again. Because that's what our Constitution allows us to do. And we should take that to heart, because we're just throwing it around saying, oh, well, a constitutional thing. This douchebag that was in our country illegally is transporting bodies across the states and selling them off. But he's a daddy from Maryland. Fuck that. I could be a daddy from Maryland too, but if I'm peddling fentanyl, that makes me a fucking criminal. And my kids ain't going to go to jail with me. There's no jail that's going to allow children in there. That's not the way it works. You break the fucking law, you go to jail. Whether it's here, whether it's El Salvador, whether it's Cuba, whether it's Russia, whether it's Belgium, it doesn't matter. And if you think you're going to get there better, and the people that are protesting about, oh, this and that, and we Donald Trump and this, he's doing this, and Elon Musk wasn't elected. You're right. Elon Musk was not elected. He was appointed by the president to go and find fraud in our government. And he found fraud in our government to the tune of a couple $2 billion. That's yours and my money that was being wasted on figuring out the menstrual cycles of transgender men. And I know that that's not true, but that's some of the shit that they were doing. Do I give a fuck what an earthworm reproductive cycle is? Hell no. It's got nothing to do with me. What I care about is put your work and your brains to find a cure for the fucking diseases that are taking lives from their loved ones. Whether it's ALS, whether it's muscular dystrophy, whether it's Alzheimer's, whether it's mental problems, whatever it is, find a cure for that. Don't worry about a fucking earthworm and how many times he has babies. Who gives a fuck? The only thing earthworms are good for is fertilizing the grounds and bait for fishing. That's what they're good for. And if that makes me a crazy motherfucker, well, then I'm a crazy motherfucker. And yes, I do say stuff like this because it boggles my mind. And I'm not a smart guy. I don't profess to be, a laureate or whatever you want to, whatever is, a valedictorian or anything like that. I don't profess to be that. But common sense I do have. And it's not rocket science. Not like Elon Musk. He's a rocket scientist. I am not. Okay? I sold real estate for a living. I've been a salesman my entire life. But I know things because I've done things, and I've been around, and I've been on the street, and I know what goes on, and I pay attention. And I put that use to make my knowledge saying, hey, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. And when people start spewing shit about this, that's why I go to these papers and I pick them up and I look at them and I go, hey, wait a minute. They're fucking lying to us again. They hid fucking Joe Biden for 4 years and lied to us about him doing cartwheels in the fucking Oval Office. The man couldn't even stand up. He couldn't find his way off a fucking stage if he had a freaking row of Tootsie Pops to follow. So stop with the bullshit. We're being lied to. Open your fucking eyes. Do some homework. And let's get this shit straightened out. And I don't care who the president is. You got to back him. And that's all I got to say about that is I back our president 100%. Whether I like him or not, whether I voted for him or not, okay, I will back the president every time. Because if he fails, we all fail. And that's just the facts. And I sure as hell don't want to turn into a Russia or a Cuba or a China. Because as a matter of fact, they were saying today that China's on the brink of, Cuba's on the brink of collapsing. And do I think that's a good thing? Well, yeah, because they're the closest thing to our enemy that's right next to us besides the Alaska Straits, the Bering Strait, where Russia could cross a minute and, be in our country in no time. So, am I upset about Cuba? I feel bad for the people, but I don't feel bad for the people that are running that country because they deserve to fucking collapse. But that's a program for another day. And with that, guys, I think I've exhausted myself. I wish you all the best. God bless the United States. God bless you all. And thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And if you like what you're hearing, please pass it along to your friends, your family, your enemies, whatever you want to do. If you want to sick me on them, that's fine too. Anyway, you all have a great day. If you missed any of the previous episodes, you can go to drunkdutchman.com, and you can find links on the bottom of the page where you can go and look up on Facebook or Instagram, X, or YouTube. So hope to see you all again. Thanks for listening. Sorry if I bored you and if I incited you to have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. This guy's a douchebag, whatever you want to say. I don't care. Anyway, you all have a great day. Cheers to you all. Make it great. Have a good one, guys.